So there's this interesting relational component that modern medicine has capitalized on to constantly take money in order to give you a false sense of security and comfort. And what that is this reassurance-based security. So it's something in relationships that is healthy if dosed appropriately, but if used inappropriately, it creates dependency and a very toxic environment with the individual that becomes dependent on the reassurance. So what this looks like with modern medicine and why it works so perfectly is if you become the person, if you start becoming dependent on this method of learning your okayness or understanding how well you are or navigating health and wellness, you become the person that constantly, chronically needs laboratory testing, imaging, more specific scanning, all of the latest and greatest to give you the peace and the security that you and your body are okay. And it seems positive. It's a very virtuous way to capitalize on this very human portion of relating, right? Again, in the correct application and dosage, it can be beneficial, right? In relationships, it shows up in a very different way, and you can kind of gauge how you interact in your personal relationships by looking at how you behave with the relationship between you and medicine. Because how you do one thing, there's that quote, is generally how you do all things, right? So this will reflect back to how you have patterns within your relationships. And when you look at it, if you're a person that always needs everyone around you to be okay, you're probably somebody that becomes very dependent, or that is very dependent on reassurance-based security, which means all of your emotional well-being, your safety, your sense of self, your confidence is constantly and chronically in the hands of everybody except for you. This is never going to confer safety to your brain, your nervous system, or your body, because this is a very insecure way to live, because the driving force behind always needing the reassurance, always needing the lab testing, always needing your partners and family members to be okay, always needing is a chronic state of insecurity, fear, anxiety, and to a body that is not going to confer the chemistry of wellness, which always coincides with peace, security, positive emotions, because what you're feeling is actually what's in your blood. So think about this. How do you engage with modern medicine? Does it have any correlation to how you're engaging in your relationships? And what is the pattern? And then when you identify the pattern, how do you start changing that pattern within your relationships first? And then let that feedback into your system, change your chemistry, which over a period of time will change your tissues. And then that should automatically change how you start engaging with the business of medicine.